We are continuing from where we stopped in the last session. We were talking about anger. Adichie had published an article about growing up or living in Lagos as a young female, and an acquaintance of her told her that that article was written in a very angry mood. And she says that she is really angry because of the gender discrimination existing in the city. She is really angry, and she says that anger is very important because anger had made much changes in the world. We are continuing back to anger. I heard the caution or warning in the acquaintance tone. So there was a warning in the tone of Adichie's friend or acquaintance, and I knew that the comment was as much about the article as it was about my character. The anger, the tone said, is particularly not good for a woman. So the acquaintance was trying to say that not only about the article but also about my character. Anger is not good for woman. That was what the acquaintance trying to say. That was what the friend trying to say. If you are a woman, you are not supposed to express anger because it is threatening. I have a friend, an American woman, who took over a managerial position from a man. Her predecessor had been considered a tough go-getter. He was blunt and hard-charging and was particularly strict about signing of the timesheets. She took on her new job and imagined herself equally tough, but perhaps a little kinder than him. He didn't always realize that people had families, she said, and she did. So this is about a friend of Adichie, an American woman. She took over the job of a manager from a man, and this man, her predecessor, who who was a manager before her, had been considered as a tough go-getter. A tough go-getter means a rough person who is very aggressive to the employees, who is very strict, who is very blunt. Blunt means not sharp, but very powerful. And hard charging. Hard charging means behaving in a very aggressive, violent manner, and was particularly strict about the signing of the timesheets. He was very strict about the attendance sheets. And when she took on her job, she imagined herself to be equally tough. So she herself was a very tough person, and she intended to continue the toughness, but perhaps a little kinder. The earlier man was a very tough person, but he was not kind. But she intended to continue the toughness, but she wanted to be a bit kind to the employees. Her predecessor didn't always realize that people had families, and she said she did. She wanted to consider the families of the employees as well. Only weeks into her new job, she disciplined an employee about a forgery on the timesheet, just as her predecessor would have done. So, some weeks after joining the new job, she caught an employee. She disciplined an employee. She taught discipline to an employee about the forgery on a timesheet. Some people had a forgery on the timesheet. Forgery on the timesheet means created some false document uh, regarding the timesheet, and she caught him just as her predecessor would have done. The employee then complained to top management about her style. She was aggressive and difficult to work with, the employee said. The other employees agreed. One said they had expected that she would bring some woman's touch to her job. she had it. So she caught a man committing forgery and reported. However, the employee of the company complained to the top management about her style. As per their complaint, she was very aggressive and difficult to work with, the employee said. The other employees agreed as well. And one even pointed out that they thought that when the possession was handed over to a woman, she will be a bit soft. She will be she will bring a woman's touch to her job, but she continued the toughness of the predecessor. So they believed that the aggressiveness, toughness, strictness, all these are prerogatives of male, and women are not supposed to be so. So it didn't occur to any of them that she was doing the same thing for which a man had been praised. So when a man is strict, it is praised, and when a woman is strict, it is not praised. Then about another friend. I have another friend who also an American woman who has a high paying job in advertising. She is one of two women in her team. Once at a meeting, she said she felt slighted by her boss, insulted by her boss, who had ignored her comments and then praised something similar when it came from a man. She wanted to speak up, to challenge her boss, but she didn't. Instead, after the meeting, she went to the bathroom and cried, then called me to vent about it, called her to free about it. She didn't want to speak up because she didn't them want to seem aggressive. She said her she let her resentment simmer. So about another American woman who had a high-paying job in advertising. So once she felt that she was insulted by her boss. Uh, the boss ignored her comments, then praised a similar comment when it came from a man. She was insulted for her comments, and a man was praised for the same comment when it came from a man. And she wanted to challenge her boss, but she didn't. She went to the bathroom and cried and called Adichie to tell the experiment so that she can be free of that insult. So she let her resentments, she let her irritation simmer. Simmer means bring down the temperature. What struck me with her and with many other female American friends I have is how invested they are in being liked. So many American female friends of Adichie, they wanted to be liked by others. So in order to be liked by others, she is not supposed to show anger. She should not supposed to be aggressive, or she should not be disagreeing too loudly. So American women wanted to maintain a likable attitude. That's what Adichie says. And we people spend too much time teaching girls to worry about what boys think of them. But the reverse is not the case. We don't teach boys to care about being likable. We spend too much time telling girls that they cannot be angry or aggressive or tough, which is bad enough. But then we turn around and either praise or excuse men for the same reasons. All over the world, there are so many magazine articles and books telling women what to do, how to be, and how not to be in order to attract or please men. There are far fewer guides for men about pleasing women. So, this is how uh, boys and girls are treated differently. We teach girls to worry about what boys think of them, but boys are not taught to be likable. So, in order to maintain the likability, women or girls are not supposed to be angry or aggressive, and There are many magazine articles and books which tells women how to be so pleasing in order to attract men, but uh, nothing of the sort is given to men uh, in order to please women. I teach a writing workshop in Lagos, and one of the participants, a young woman, told me that a friend had told her not to listen to my feminist talk. Otherwise, she would absorb ideas that would destroy her marriage. This is a threat, the destruction of a marriage, the possibility of not having a marriage at all, that in our society is much more likely to be used against a woman than against a man. So, uh, Adichie was conducting a writing workshop in Lagos, and a participant told her that one a friend of this young woman told her not to listen to Adichie's feminist talk. If she listened to it, she would absorb the ideas and it will destroy her marriage. So, uh, is destruction of marriage is considered as a threat, and which is used against women, not against men. So, gender matters everywhere in the world. And I would like today to ask that we should begin to dream about and plan a different world, a fairer world, a world of happier men and happier women who are truer to themselves. And this is how to start. We must raise our daughters differently. We must also raise our sons differently. So, uh, concluding this session, she says that gender matters everywhere in the world. And today, she is positive. She thinks that it will be easy, it will be possible for us to change the world. Let us dream about a different world, a fairer world. Fairer world means a world with more justice, a world in which men and women are happier, and this is how we should do. We must raise our daughters differently. We must also raise our sons differently. So, hope you understood the topics uh, she had discussed. All these are personal experiences of her from which she tries to understand the character of the society. Thank you.